Hospitality is an important issue for the church and for Christians. In fact, it could be said that if the church and if Christians don't practice hospitality, that we're not really being church or Christians. So it's important to discuss this issue, and that's why we're discussing it here now at the first youth group of 2011 to 2012. So just a reminder, at the beginning of every youth group, I like to do highs and lows from the previous week. But since this was the first youth group since the summer, we did highs and lows of the summer. It took a while, but I think it's important for us to begin each youth group with highs and lows because our culture doesn't like to listen very well. We're just go, 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 and you need to stop and you need to listen to people. That's how you form community. That's how you be the church. The other way for us to be the church is to practice hospitality. So that's what I want to tackle in this first youth group. And the way that we do this is to start off with an activity. And the activity is to pretend like it's your birthday. And you are at your birthday party, and all of the people in the youth group are at your birthday party, and the objective, your purpose at your birthday, is to introduce everyone to everyone else. So that was the thing that we started off with. Everybody stood up and took somebody and took them to another person and said, hey, this is my friend Sam. Sam, meet my friend Phil. And you just get together and do this with as many people as possible. And at the end, everybody should know everybody's name, and everybody's having a good time. You're playing music in the background, and it's fun and hospitable. And so then you stop after everybody's done, and you say, why did I have you do this? Why did I have you introduce everybody together? And the point is that you want everybody to feel welcome. You want everybody to feel included. That's the point of this activity, and it's the point of hospitality. So after you brainstorm why you played this game, you bring up the word hospitality. What does hospitality mean to people? It means including people, making sure that everybody feels welcome. That's what it means to be hospitable to one another. So the Bible, conveniently enough, is big on hospitality. You see this theme of hospitality running throughout the Bible. And so it's important, I think, to highlight this, especially at our first youth group meeting, when you have maybe new people coming in. How do you be hospitable to new people in the youth group? How do you be hospitable to new people at your school or people in your family or anywhere? New people coming in. How do you practice hospitality towards them? This is the question that we struggled with and we brainstormed about throughout the class. But the point in the Bible that I want to make is where Paul is writing a letter. It's called 1 Corinthians, and it's in chapter 11, verses 17 through 22. And here the Corinthians are practicing communion or the Lord's Supper, whatever you may call it in your tradition. And they're not doing it right. And so Paul is critiquing them. The Lord's Supper is a place where we put all of our differences aside, and we come together to the table of Jesus in the spirit of unity, in the spirit of love. Well, Paul is writing to the Corinthians who weren't practicing communion in the spirit of love, they were practicing it in the spirit of division. So what we think is happening here is that rich people had the church houses, and everybody was coming to the church houses. Well, the rich people would have practiced communion earlier than when the poor people could come. And so they would all be getting drunk off of wine and having a great time. They would be having the party early. And the poor people would come and they would have seconds. They would have the leftovers. Not only would they just have the leftovers, they were also confined to another smaller room where they had to hang out. And this was division in the body of Christ. And Paul says this is a huge no-no. You should be coming together as one body, one church. This is what it means to be church. So what are the areas in our lives where we are not as one body, where we're not practicing hospitality to strangers, to even friends? Where are the ways in which we actively push people out, and where are the ways in which we passively ignore people, hoping that they will just go away? And how can that be overcome? Through being hospitable and loving towards other people. So those are some of the themes that we discussed in our first youth group, and I would love to hear what you think. Thanks.